is favorable for biotic life, and also rain-fed agriculture is possible. And when it comes to the Ethiopian Highlands, it is free from tropical diseases like that of malaria, and it's also attractive for human habitation, and the area is densely populated because it is favorable for human habitat. On the contrary, the Ethiopian lowlands are characterized by fewer amount of rainfall and higher temperature will be seen in the lowlands. There is high prevalence of tropical diseases and commonly malaria because it is suitable for mosquitoes to breed. Population density is very low, and nomadic and semi-nomadic economic life is to be seen in the lowlands, and there are vast plain lands favorable for irrigation, agriculture along the lower river basins. The physiographic division of Ethiopia could be seen as follows. 1. The Western Highlands and Lowlands. This physiographic unit includes all area to that of west of the Rift Valley. It makes up about 44% of the area of the country. This region is further subdivided into 4 groups of highlands, meaning the Western Highlands and Lowlands could be divided into 4 groups of highlands. Okay. The first one is the Western Highlands. In here, what we'll see is that the Tigray Plateau. The Tigray Plateau is separated from the Eritrean Plateau by the Merab River, and it is the Merab River that separates the two. The right bank tributaries of Takazé drain this plateau. Also, there are high mountains in this plateau with elevations of over 3,000 meters, namely Mount Tsebet, which has an altitude of 3,988 meters above sea level, Mount Ambalagi, with an altitude of 3,291 meters above sea level, and Mount Asimba, with an altitude of 3,248 meters above sea level. Second, the north central massifs. In here, they are by Takazé, and their tributaries have cut into this region a maze of gorges, steep-sided river valleys. The physiographic unit also accommodates the Lake Tana Basin, and also 58% of the region is at an altitude of more than 2,000 meters, making it next to the Shuan Plateau. That is the second highest physiographic region in the area. This region consists of Gondar, Wollo, and the Gojam Massif. Massif is a chain of mountains. Out of the 26 mountain peaks with an altitude of more than 4,000 meters above sea level, 333 in Ethiopia, 19 mountain peaks are found in this physiographic region. So this shows that many mountains in Ethiopia are to be found within this physiographic region. Among these, the most popular ones include Mount Ras Station with an altitude of 4,620 meters, and that of Mount Wainober with an altitude of 4,462 meters above sea level. Moreover, Mount Kudusare with an altitude of 4,453 meters above sea level, Mount Pohawit with 4,437 meters above sea level, and the same mountain system. And also, Mount Guna is also to be found within this physiographic region. The third physiographic region is the Shwa Plateau or the Central Highlanders. This plateau occupies a central geographic position in Ethiopia. The Shwa Plateau is the smallest of the Western Highlands. We are talking about the Western Highlands of the four. The Shwa Plateau is the smallest one in terms of area coverage. The highest mountain in the Shwa Plateau is Mount Abuyemeda, which has 4,000 meters above sea level in the northern Shwa, and Mount Gurage in the south is having 3,721 meters high. The fourth one in this physiographic region is the Southwestern Highlanders, which consists the Highlands of Olaga, Ilebabur, Jimma, Kafa, Gamgofa, Gamo, and that of Gofa. It extends from the Upper Gorge in the north to the Kenya border and Chobahar in the south. The region is the second largest in the Western Highlands, and the Southwestern Plateau is the wettest in Ethiopia because there is always high rainfall. It is drained by the Bus, the Desa, which are the tributaries of Abai. A tributary is made by a smaller river that enters or drains to the main river. Baro, Akobo, and the Gibe Omo rivers are within this physiographic region. With a height of 4,200 meters above sea level, Guge Mountain is the highest peak in this physiographic region. Next, we'll see the Western Lowlands. These are the western foothills and border plains that extend from western Tigray in the north to southern Gamgofa in the south. In this area, what we call the Tekeze Lowlands, the Abaydinga Lowland, the Baro Lowland, and the Gibe Lowland from north to south are to be found within these lowlands. With the exception of the Baro Lowland, the region is generally characterized by arid or semi-arid. That is to say, this area is a dry area which will never have good rainfall, and agriculture will be so difficult unless otherwise if we are not to use irrigation in that area. In the Western Highland, the next one is the Rift Valley. The formation of the Rift Valley has separated the Ethiopian Highlands and Lowlands into two. It opens out in the upper triangle where it is the widest and narrows down to the south. The Rift Valley is further divided into three physiographic subdivisions. First, the upper triangle. Okay? The upper triangle is the largest and widest part of the Rift Valley. Quite different is the morphology of the upper depression from approximately 1,000 meters in the southeast west to below sea level in the north, what we call it the Danakil or the Denkel depression, which is a very, very low land area in the country. The depression, which hosts one of the most hostile environments on earth, so life is very difficult. Lake Ape, Asale, and Afera occupy some of these basins, and a prominent feature in this region is the Danakil depression, or what we call it the Kobar Sink. The main Ethiopian rifts, the second part is within the Rift Valley, the main Ethiopian rift or Central Rift, which extends from Awash River in the north to Lake Chamo in the south. This part of the Rift Valley is the narrowest and the highest. Here, rain-fed agriculture is practiced because there is almost scanty. Of course, there is low rainfall, but agriculture could be exercised in this area, and the geothermal energy potential is very, very high in because the underground geothermal is widely to be seen in this area. The third one is the Chao Bahar Rift. This is the smallest and the southernmost part of the Rift Valley. Conso and the surrounding highlands separate it from the main rift system to the north. And the Chao Bahar Rift is a marshy area covered by tall grass, into which the Sagan and Waito streams empty. Now, what would be the impacts of relief on biophysical and socioeconomic conditions? The highly dissected character of the landscape over much of the country's territory influence the various socioeconomic aspects. Like what? 1. Agricultural practice. Relief influences crop production. The practice of animal husbandry is also influenced by relief, because there are some animals that could live in highlands and some animals that could live in lowlands. The same is true for crop production. Some plants or some crops will grow in highlands and others will grow in lowlands. So relief do influence agricultural activity. Second, practice of animal husbandry is also influenced by relief. Yeah. Which kind of animal to be reared where? It is to depend on the relief type. The second impact or relief is on settlement pattern. Free from most of the tropical diseases are densely settled. That's why, because of this, highlands in Ethiopia are highly or densely populated, whereas lowlands are sparsely populated. The highlands of Ethiopia are characterized by sedentary life. Sedentary life means people will settle in one area and exercise agricultural and other activities. And permanent settlements, while lowlands that are inhabited by pastoralists have temporary settlements, like what we can see in the Afar region and the like, where they go from place to place for pasture and water, so they don't have a sedentary life. The third impact of relief is on transportation and communication. Ethiopia has a very rugged terrain, so the difficult terrain makes infrastructure development and maintenance costly because there are ups and downs. TV and radio communications are also highly influenced by relief. The rugged topography rendered rivers less navigable due to the water force. So, Ethiopian rivers are not navigable because of this. 4. On hydroelectric power potential. The great difference in altitude, coupled with high rainfall rated, suitable conditions for a very high potential for the production of hydroelectric power in Ethiopia. Socio-cultural fifths. Rugged terrain resulted in the long-term isolation of communities. Because of the terrain, communities cannot come together, because of terrain or relief. 6. Impacts on climate. Highlands with higher amount of rainfall and lower evapotranspiration tend to be moisture surplus compared to the moisture deficit lowlands, because there is high degree of evapotranspiration. 7. Impacts on soil. Steep mountains is subject to degradation. If the topography is steep, the water can easily erode the soil and take it, to other area.